Dayton Public Library, and we are really honored to be here and invited. Uh, the group, the Tibetan Buddhist monks, we came from a monastery called Drepung Gomang Monastery, which is one of the biggest monastic university pre-1959, before the communist Chinese came in and invaded our country and destroyed 6,000 monasteries and killed 1.2 million Tibetans, and still going persecution every day for violating the basic human rights every day. It's still going on. So in 1959, our leader, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the picture in the front, in the middle, he escaped in order to preserve and maintain the Tibetan culture, tradition, and basic human rights for his people to India. And India gave asylum to Tibetans who escaped, like 80,000 Tibetans at that time out of 6 million Tibetans. And our monastery has 5,500 monks at that time. Only 100 were able to escape, making the treacherous journey through the Himalayas, snow-capped mountains, to India. And when they came to India, the weather was totally different. Very hot climate, different insects, different bugs, and different food. So due to various conditions and factors, lots of them died of dysentery, malaria, pneumonia, heat, and from hardships. They have lost their lives, their siblings, their families, they get disconnected, some escaped, some left behind. So only 100 were able to escape out of this one particular monastery, Drepung Gomang Monastery, and 40 died out of heat exhaustion or other diseases and hardships. So only 60 survived. The 60 survivors, they worked and toiled in the refugee camps in South India that was given, the land given by the government of India. There were 40 acres of land for 60 months, and they started working in the farms during daytime and growing corn, and at night they would study. They would study the Buddhist philosophy, culture, and they would teach the young monks, and then they will feed them. So after now 50 years living as a refugee in India, the monks, those initial 40 survivor monks of the Gomang Monastery has increased to 2,000 monks. And we have a big prayer assembly hall, and the 6 of us here are from that monastery who survived, and the continuous influx every day, still escaping from Tibet under the Chinese communist regime. They can come down to the monastery, live there as free, get the education, monastic education, Buddhist philosophy, logic, culture and traditions, and art, and they can learn all these things that are banned in Tibet, our own country, by the Chinese regime, the communist totalitarian regime. So the monks who still escape, people, Tibetan men and women, monks and nuns, and children as young as 7-8 years old, walking through the Himalayas and the snow-capped mountains. If they survive and decided to join monastery, the monastery provides them free education, free room, free teachers, free books, free textbooks, and free food, and free basic medicines. But all of those rely on the generous contribution of a lay person or people whom we meet. So we tour the United States. 6 of the monks who represent the Gomang monastery is touring for 1 year, and